I stopped doing the thing that was actually the real me. And I didn't even realize that I had. Do you ever feel that way? Let me tell you the story. So, I've always been a songbird. I've been singing, literally my whole life. Yesterday we talked again about how at 5, I was singing in church. And as a pastor's kid, you're always up front doing those kind of things. Last week I even talked about my phrase, all I ever wanted to do was sing. It just comes naturally to me. I just, in any given moment, a song flows out of me. And then it didn't. I didn't realize it, didn't recognize it. It wasn't like it was for sure. It wasn't a conscious decision. It wasn't like one day I woke up and I said, from now on, I'm not going to sing as much. I sing too much. I'm too happy. I express myself too much musically. It wasn't any of those kind of things. It was subtle and it happened slowly and over time. Pain crept its way in. Um, Comments and accusations and complaints, not because people were complaining about what I was singing or that I wasn't singing well or those kind of things. If anything, I had too many compliments and had to move to a place where I was doing it because it was the heart of who I was versus something that was performative. But as time went on, as pain worked its way into my life, as rejection and hurt and sorrow came in, the song was quieted. And as I mentioned a couple of times in lives, at one point I had lost octave and a half or more off at the top end of my range and really had just lost that ability to be able to throw my head back and sing, to be happy and joyful and glad for what was happening in my life and be able to express it in song and music. It became stilled in me. I didn't realize it. I hadn't planned it. It isn't even something I wanted. It didn't disappear. I didn't have some kind of a, injury or something that kept me from it. I just stopped slowly, casually, and over time. And I think you probably can relate to that. It may not necessarily be singing, it might be something else. But if you're like me, you may find yourself looking at that thing that was so casual, so normal, so you, and it's not there as much anymore. In fact, when you show up to do something that is that normal, natural, regular, just you kind of a thing, rather than the song, the words, the art, the whatever that might be, the reflective thought, whatever kind of person you are, rather than that just naturally flowing out of us, it's become quieted. And the worst of it is that we begin thinking about something that we never really thought about, something that was so natural for us that it just flowed from us. And now, every time we stop, we look at our surroundings. Are we in a place where it's okay to do it? Are we safe to be able to do it? What are people going to say and think and feel and do and call me in the middle of a live? We have all of those kind of things. And they come up now every time, really every time we try to do anything. There's an old saying that says the way you do one thing is how you do everything. And though I don't completely agree with that, in those things that are the normal, natural parts of us, when we begin to question it, it shows up questioning in everything that we do. And so now it's your turn. I want to hear from you. What's something that used to feel totally like you that you don't do anymore? Do you know why? I bet if you're like me, you don't even know why. You just can notice it. And maybe now's even the time to stop for a minute and realize that that thing has diminished or disappeared in your life and you didn't even know it did. What is the something that used to so feel like and be you that you just don't do anymore? I look forward to hearing what you have to say. Let's interact on this. Let's help each other really, truly show up as the real us that we are. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you're happy, safe, warm, and loved. And then until we're together again next time, you have an amazingly great week.